Hi, I'm Pastor Dave, teaching evangelist with Lamb and Lion Ministries. All right. This might be a silly question to ask, but is Jerusalem in Israel or is it in Palestine? What language is considered the official language of Palestine? Is it Hebrew or Aramaic? What is the official currency in Palestine? Is it the Jordanian dinar, the Egyptian pound, or is it the Israeli shekel? Currently, the Bank of Jordan, the Arab Bank, and the Cairo Amman Bank all dispense money in the Jordanian dinar. What about the legal system in Palestine? Is there a court system? If so, who governs it? The Palestinian Liberal Organization, the PLO, represents Palestinians on the international level, but locally, the Palestinian Authority, the PA, oversees the citizens in Gaza and the West Bank. These areas are governed by Fatah. Now, I ask all this because trying to divide Jerusalem or to separate Jerusalem from Israel is a much more complicated topic than I believe many really understand. Yet, that is what many people, including the United Nations, want to do. Some social media users have claimed that Yasser Arafat was the first person to ever refer to the land of Israel as Palestine. Now, those posts may be someone's opinion, but what is the history behind Palestine? Are you aware the word Palestine is not Arab? It's not Arab or Middle Eastern in origin. It dates back almost 1900 years to 135 AD when the Roman Emperor Hadrian, out of spite because of a Jewish revolt, changed the name of a Roman province in Judea to Palestine. It came from the word Philistines, who were enemies of Israel. So, out of spite, the Roman emperor referred to the Israeli homeland as the land of their enemy. I guess some things just never change. When the Roman emperor did this, those Palestinians were Christians, Jews, and Muslims. They were people of any ethnic or religious affiliation. The term Palestine did not describe any one ethnic or religious group. In fact, for decades, it was common for the international press to call those living in Palestine Jews, not Arabs. Now, 76 years removed from 1948, the year Israel was recognized as a state, the term Palestine is once again causing a stir. The New York Post, of all things, the New York Post recently reported that a CBS News executive, the network's senior director of standards and practices, sent an email to all CBS employees telling them, do not refer to Jerusalem as being in Israel. The Post reported that the email reminded all CBS News employees to be careful when terms like Israel and Gaza were being written or talked about. It's being reported that this note sent to thousands of journalists at the network said, yes, the U.S. Embassy is there, and the Trump administration recognized it as being Israel's capital, but its status is disputed. The status of Jerusalem goes to the heart of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel regards Jerusalem as its eternal and undivided capital, while the Palestinians claim East Jerusalem, occupied by Israel in the 1967 war, they see it as the capital of a future state. Declining to refer to Jerusalem as Israel's capital, well, that's one thing. But denying that it is in Israel, that it is located in Israel, that's just crazy. Jerusalem is where the Israeli Knesset, its parliament, is located. Jerusalem is where Israel's prime minister lives. Jerusalem is where their president lives. This would be like saying Washington, D.C., well, that's not in America. Folks, it just makes no sense. Now, this is not just a matter of opinion. On October 23rd, 1995, the 104th Congress of the United States of America passed the Jerusalem Embassy Act of 1995. The Senate, by a vote of 93 to 5 in favor of, and the U.S. House, by a vote of 374 to 37 in favor of, adopted S 1322, the Jerusalem Embassy Act of 1995. The official record is on the Congress government website. The 104th Congress said an act to provide to the relocation of the United States Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. That was the whole purpose of this. It was enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress. Section 1, it says this act may be called the Jerusalem Embassy Act of 1995. Section 2, findings. The Congress makes the following findings. Number 1, each sovereign nation under international law and customs may designate its own capital. Number 2, since 1950, the city of Jerusalem has been the capital of the state of Israel. Number 3, the city of Jerusalem is the seat of Israel's president, parliament, and Supreme Court, and the site of numerous government ministries, social and cultural institutions. Number 4, the city of Jerusalem is the spiritual center of Judaism and is also considered a holy city by the members of other religious faiths. Number 5, from 48 to 67, Jerusalem was a divided city, and Israeli citizens of all faiths were denied access to holy sites in the area controlled by Jordan. Number 6, in 1967, the city of Jerusalem was reunited during the conflict known as the Six-Day War. Number 7, since 1967, Jerusalem has been a united city administered by Israel, and persons of all religious faiths have been guaranteed full access to holy sites within the city. The Act S1322 states that Jerusalem should remain a united city and should be recognized as the capital of the state of Israel, and that the U.S. Embassy should be moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem no later than May 31st, 1999. The act was passed on October 23rd, 1995, became law on November 8th, 1995. Included in the measure is a stipulation allowing the president to issue a waiver every 6 months to keep the embassy, the American embassy, in Tel Aviv if he determines and reports to Congress that such a move is necessary to protect the national security interests of the United States. President Obama issued his final waiver preventing the move during his administration on December 1st, 2016. In addition, a presidential proclamation issued on December 6, 2017, recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of the state of Israel, and in this document recognized the relocation of the United States Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. This presidential document was issued by the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. The presidential document can be found on the Federal Register, Volume 82, number 236, dated Monday, December 11th, 2017. So we have the 104th United States Congress recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. We have the 45th President of the United States recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And more importantly, we have the God of creation recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. But now apparently a major U.S. network wanting to inform the American public, they're telling us and its staff not to refer to Jerusalem as being in Israel. I have to wonder at what point will God say enough? No one knows the day or the hour, nor should anyone even try to put a date on acts of God. And I understand God is patient. And I understand that He is sovereign. And nothing will happen without His hand of approval. I get that. But I also know that the day will come when God will say enough. Game over. People need to decide which side you want to be on. It's to the point that America is becoming as ungodly as any pagan nation from days gone by. God has been very clear in His Word how He has responded and how He will respond to nations that abuse and neglect the apple of His eye, Israel. I've said for a while that America has reached the point of no return. I say that as a nation. I still believe there's hope for individuals. But now you have a major television network proclaiming they will no longer recognize Jerusalem as being part of Israel. I'm almost afraid to ask what's next. CBS as a network may want to kick Jerusalem to the curb. But our Congress did not, our House did not, our President did not, and more importantly, God does not. And with that, we can look up and say, Maranatha, Lord Jesus.